Welcome everyone, friends and first of all species. I'm Dayzee, and we're back with another episode of Angels with Scaly Wings, the Bryce route. Now, we got a drinking party, we got to hang out with him, and now we got invited to the cookout, but this is the scene where we see whether it was Anna or Damien who was killed overnight. So, let's... Oh hey! This is... I was about to skip this because we've seen it, but, even though I was thinking that Anna would die, because the reason she didn't die in the last, playthrough is because we told her not to work late. But we didn't do that because we're not on her route. So, I think that because we saved her in one timeline, that it means she's, like, she won't die anymore. I don't know. Either that, or it's, like, randomized. If you're not on her route, it'll just go boop him or boop her, whichever one. Boop is a weird way to say murder. Sorry, Katsuharu. See, we stopped and we helped Katsuharu last time. So this time I'm gonna go to the thing. When I arrived at the station, I was met by the police archivist, a dragoness who introduced herself as Calith. You're in luck, Dayzee. Bryce compiled all the case files a while ago. Ever since you came to our world, he seems to be a lot more interested in these human mysteries. I wonder if it has something to do with you. Aw. Anyway, you can find all the files here. I'll leave the rest to you. Ooh, study the blueprint, read the structural damage, underground, play a prank, rummage through the trash. Study the blueprint. The blueprint of the building caught my attention. Apparently it had been found during their cursory investigation within the building itself. At first glance, nothing about it stood out to me, but the more I studied it, the more the facts revealed themselves. Both of its entrances were freed and accessible by the people in charge. One was through a tunnel in the vicinity of the portal, and the other was through a dig that cut through the town sewer system. Bryce had scrawled notes near the second entry. It simply said, Access V hatch, button Bunsen counterclockwise. Button counterclockwise. That's... Remember, when we were in the park, my first playthrough, and I messed around with that thing for like 50 minutes trying to figure out the code? That's the code. I'm gonna go back to Katsu Park in my next playthrough. I don't think we can go back to it after this point, but in the next playthrough, I'm gonna go through there and find out. I should probably take a picture. There we go, just for the rest of it. Furthermore, the data in the corner of the blueprint listed the structure as an independent living and research unit dated to the year 2047. Hold up. Most interesting, I recognize the name of the company that was listed. They were a well-established super company before our world's collapse, known for their advances in scientific fields and otherwise through the use of legal loopholes and gray markets. They were very successful at what they did. Their facilities subverted laws and ethical issues by being in areas where such concerns were non-existent, or they could be made non-existent by paying off the right individuals. Oh, so they're a piece of shit. It's Apple. I'm joking. Naturally, the products and applications of their research was usually fair game to be used and sold worldwide. They were the only one of the companies involved in the championing of teleportation technology that was about to take off on a grand scale before the solar flare changed everything. Of course, there was public worries regarding the untested long-term consequences of utilizing black holes in such technology. It was outlawed in certain countries due to these concerns, but lobbies and private sectors drove many of them to accept the tech in light of the boundless advantages offered. They were also big in medical security and weaponry field. Their vast knowledge and close cooperation of their individual departments enabled them to make many breakthroughs. It seemed like they could do anything they set out to do. The nanomachines that became commonplace before the fall were, of course, also their product. No one was surprised that the tech failed under the radiation of the ion storm. Had the company behind it had been more concerned about safety rather than profits, perhaps fewer lives would have been lost. Even though they weren't perfect, nanomachines had still increased the quality of life for many people. It was a new way of treating medical conditions, some of which had been previously untreatable. They were also widely used for their performance-enhancing properties for both day-to-day activities and to assist with dangerous jobs. Beyond that, the company had even branched out into genetic engineering. The dream of being a furry was within reach. Human hereditary diseases were becoming a thing of the past as they developed techniques to alter human life to its core. Ultimately, they had an hand in influencing every area of life on a global scale. It was unknown who was truly calling the shots, as their network of companies and names was vast. It was only one of their many ways to ensure their continued existence and avoid liability. Where they had been outlawed or their operations shut down, new companies with suspiciously similar products appeared practically overnight. However, no matter how big their empire was or how well they skirted the lines, they ultimately collapsed just like the rest of the world. That being said, how did this building make its way into the dragon's world? As I pondered this, Adine's request came to mind. I used Bryce's machine to make a copy of the map for her. Bryce probably wouldn't approve of me giving evidence to civilians, but I was sure he would never even realize it. Oh, hey! Cool! I got a map! Read the structural damage report of the underground... Okay. According to the report, the investigation of the building was halted due to the acute danger of its collapse and the damage that the surrounding water would cause. Since the building had unknown historical and technological value, there was a plan in place to drain the water pockets. The legal permission had not yet gone through, however, and it would take some time for the equipment to arrive. For now, the building was stable as long as it remained undisturbed, but for obvious reasons, no one was allowed to enter. There were patrols guarding it night and day. Huh, look at the time, I better wrap it up here. Okay, so we got a map, and I think because Adine wanted it, that's part of Adine's route. Oh, this is the piece of slip. Don't go to the portal. There you are, Dayzee. It seems to me like you've taken a liking to Bryce's chair. Maybe I could get used to this. Don't tell Bryce, though. By the way, good job calling the police when you heard Reza. It's too bad he got away again. But maybe a witness will come forward and we'll find out what happened. Now let's take a look at what you got for me. What you learned about the map is fascinating, if not a little unsettling. While it's good to have confirmed its origins, to know it came from your world is something else. It raises more questions than answers. How could something like a whole building end up in our world? It's mysterious that needs to be answered. The statement from the store clerk is interesting. We've had a few reports of Reza since he went into hiding, so this is very helpful. It's another confirmation of his involvement in the whole matter. You did great today, Dayzee. The police department is glad to have you on our side. I do what I can. I know, and your help is greatly appreciated, believe me, especially since we're so short-staffed right now. That'll be all for today. I'll contact you if we need anything. Of course. See you next time. See you. Looks like there's some messages on the answering machine. Let's see.
Hey Dayzee, remember that barbecue I told you about? It's pretty soon, so you better be ready for it. All of the guys from the department will be there. We always have tons of fun, and some of us even stay overnight. Would be cool to have you come along. If you want to come, let me know so I can hook you up with the details.
A dragon barbecue party with a human as a guest of honor. Not suspicious at all, Bryce. I'm gonna meet with Bryce. We're never turned down home-cooked food. Hey, we at the beach? This is dope!
There you are, Dayzee. Seems like you're the last one.
I thought I was on time.
Oh, you are. It's just everyone always gets so excited about this that they come a little earlier.
I thought it was strange how late you were holding this little get-together anyway.
It's simple, baby. Now we get the beach all to ourselves.
Fair.
Before you go and meet the others, I should probably warn you.
What is it?
There is someone here you may not approve of.
Oh god, Maverick? And who would that be?
Maverick.
Called it. Why is he here?
All things considered, I think it's better for him to be here where I can watch him than if he was out there doing who knows what. You know what I mean? Besides, if I invited you and not him, I'm sure he would have reacted. He always comes to my barbecues before. Plus, maybe if I talk to him, I can find out what he's up to.
Does he know I'm here?
Yes, and he assured me he would keep the peace. Can you do the same?
Sure. Heck no, I'm out here. No, sure.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Let's just hope there won't be any incidents. Alright, let's go and meet the others.
As we walked a few paces, I saw familiar faces. Ha! Right.
Usually there'd be more people here, but with everything else that's going on, some of the others from the department couldn't get any time off. Hey everyone, guess who's finally here?
Oh, hey!
You may remember Zong, the waiter at the bar.
Isn't he also like the grocery store clerk, or like they twins?
Dayzee.
Hey! Is that you, Sebastian? I don't recognize you without the hat. What are you talking about? Sorry I didn't recognize you without your cap on.
That's a good one.
You're already bringing out the jokes. Let's see how long you're going to last in this company. He looks weird without the hat. Hey, Dayzee. Did Bryce tell you to be nice? Hey, Maverick.
Alright, let's get this barbecue started.
I don't see a grill or anything. Where's the firewood?
You see the pile of stones over there? That's our grill. And firewood. Where? We don't need that.
I see.
So, who shall light the fire?
I can make my own this time. Very subtle, Sebastian.
No need to be sour about it, Zong. Your fire sucks up. No need to be subtle about it. Zong, your fire stunk up the whole area last year, and it made everything taste weird.
Oh man, that sucks. I didn't notice the difference. Yeah, because everything tastes the same to you, Maverick.
I told you I had the flu. I'm pretty sure you gave us more than just your fire. I think we got some of your spit in there too.
Yes,
because of the flu. Everything was congested, so it was hard to get anything out at all.
You're not making this any better.
Excuses.
I am just telling you how it is. Besides, it wasn't even my idea to light a fire. You were like, oh Zong, never lit a fire, he should do it. Don't blame me for getting what you wanted.
Yep, and we learned our lesson.
Zong, not even once. You wouldn't be complaining so much about it if it wasn't for the flu I had. Maybe I should light it again and it's time to prove you wrong.
No thanks, last year was bad enough.
Why don't you do it, Bryce?
I'm not sure if I'm feeling up to the task.
Why doesn't Dayzee do it? I don't have fire! I like that, do you?
Yes. Yes, let Dayzee do it. It seems we have a unanimous decision here. Go ahead, Dayzee, show us what you got.
Suddenly they all looked at me, expecting me to light a fire for them. Do I have a lighter with me? If it's me, I have a lighter on me, but... do I have a lighter on me? Like if it was me in this situation, of course I have a lighter on me, but I'm not sure if my character has a lighter. Sorry, don't suppose you have any matches? They were still watching me, not moving or batting an eye, when suddenly laughter erupted. Okay, guys, I get it. The joke's on me.
You should have seen your face.
Yeah, it was great.
Don't pay any heed to them. They're always like this.
Yeah, I noticed. Seriously now, who should light the fire?
You already want to do it, don't you, Seb?
Isn't that obvious?
Go ahead then. We already agreed Zong is not doing it.
I told you I could prove you wrong this time.
Let's not ruin our barbecue 2 years in a row.
Maybe next year then.
I don't feel up for it this year, and with Maverick's aim, you probably shouldn't either. I'd rather not risk anything.
I could hit you anytime.
Sure, but we want to have a barbecue, not set this whole beach on fire. Besides, Sebastian's fire always makes the food so crisp and smoky. I like that. Any objections?
No. Me neither.
Master of ceremony, would you light the fire, please?
It's not an easy job, but someone's gotta do it. Sebastian went up to the small bed of stones they had prepared. Since his back was turned towards me, I couldn't see exactly what he did, but a few seconds later a fire started burning among the stones.
There we go. Well done, Sebastian.
My pleasure.
Alright, everyone, pick your poison. Just to get you up to speed, Dayzee, we pretty much got everything here you could ask for. Of course, we have all varieties of meats, but we also have some vegetables, cheese, if you're into that sort of thing. We even got some algae stuff we usually bring for Naomi, one of the girls in the department, but she couldn't come tonight. Just help yourself and throw it on the fire. Sebastian always gets some veggies with his meat, whereas Zong goes totally crazy over the cheese stuff. Now that I think about it, maybe it was just that dumb cheese that made everything so bad last time.
Oh, shut up, I'll force feed you some of it.
No thanks, keep your cheese to yourself, please. Where was I? Alright, I go for the meats personally. As I said, the algae is normally for Naomi. She usually likes that stuff, but she's one of the water kind, so it's not a surprise. I tried it myself once. Not really my kind of thing, but feel free to take some if you want to. And then there's Maverick. He just eats whatever he can get into his muzzle.
A few years ago, a sandstone managed to hide between some slabs of meat he got. He didn't even notice and just kept on munching. Yeah, but that was with Bryce's cooking. I couldn't tell the difference.
Why, you...
After all of us had made our selection and put it on the fire, we sat down in a circle around it. Of course, Bryce made sure that Maverick and I were not sitting next to each other. So Bryce, how's that stink with the mirror going for you?
It's weird, I'm not even doing anything. I just have to follow her around and stand guard in her office. But what's worse, I think I found out why she wanted to do the whole thing in the first place.
Oh, to enlighten us.
It's kind of embarrassing, to be honest.
Now you definitely have to say it. Yeah, come on.
Alright. The real reason why she wants me to play around this so much is she totally has the hots for me.
Oh, yes, I'm loving this.
Oh, come on.
Seriously.
You wish.
You are not what she's like in public, right? But as soon as it's only the two of us in the room, she's a totally different person. It's unreal.
I mean, I believe that she's a different in private, but still.
Of course, Bryce, when you make up a story, just going out with a high-ranking politician isn't enough. Obviously, she also can't resist your manly allure. But it's true, I'm not even interested in her. For one, she really isn't my type. And regardless of her public or private persona, her personality really sucks.
It really does. I freaking hate that lady.
What was that about, sucking?
Shut up. If no one wants to believe me, I'll just stop before I get to the really bad stuff.
Don't you dare! I live for this stuff. Come on. I can actually confirm that she does act like a totally different person when she doesn't think she's being watched by the general public.
Huh, interesting. Okay, Bryce, why don't you tell us more? What exactly does she like about you?
It's what's not to like about me.
We get it, Bryce, just change the subject.
It's true, I swear.
And give us some details. What's she like in private?
It all started innocently enough, but as I told you, when we are alone, she starts to get kind of weird after a while. She wasn't even remotely subtle about it either. Once even the words cavity search came up from her mind, not me.
Damn, she want you. Oh, okay.
Oh, come on.
I can't even listen to this anymore. And then later she was suddenly like, oh, my back is so stiff, would you mind giving me a massage? You look like you have the proper strength to give me a good one. It's like she's not even trying to hide it.
Did you give it to her?
Did you give it to her?
Of course not. I told her I'm not good with massages. That's the truth.
Who would have thought?
Do you really believe him, Zeb?
I'm not judging, just listening.
Emira wanting you to give her a massage is hardly constitutes as having the hots for you, though. Emira wanting you to give her a massage hardly constitutes having the hots for her, though.
I'm not even done yet.
Oh, please, come on. Well, I'm done with this.
Earlier today, she told me how nice it would be for a child to grow up with two leaders for parents.
Okay, she really... Actually, I don't even think Bryce could have come up with that one on his own.
I'm not buying it.
Hey, at least you believe me, right, Dayzee?
I do. I could totally picture Amira acting like that.
See, I told you, if Dayzee believes it, it must be true.
Can't argue with that logic. Maybe it's just the alcohol talking.
I didn't even have anything yet.
Sure, but with as much as you drink, your blood is like at least 10% beer by now. I bet you can't even get completely sober anymore.
Anyway, what do you think I should do about her?
Nothing, because you made up the whole thing in the first place.
If I don't do anything, I'll probably end up having to marry her or something.
I would love to see a dragon wedding, let's be honest. And at that point, your story would actually be credible.
Why don't you just tell her to stop?
It's not that easy. Considering our positions, even though I am chief, there is nothing I could do to prevent her from pulling me off the case and making me into her personal bodyguard. If I tear her off too strongly, she could totally make my professional life a nightmare.
And she totally would.
I see, so that's a situation that requires careful deliberation and subtlety. Not exactly your strong suits, Bryce.
And that's why I'm asking you. Not that you're much better, though.
Maybe you should play along for a while just to see what happens. And then once the time's right, you strike.
And strike reversed what, exactly? I'm not going to indulge in her ways I'm not going to indulge her in any way, shape, or form. This kind of situation that's going to cause a huge uproar if I include it in my memoir.
Oh, he's writing a memoir. That'll be fun.
Who's gonna read your memoir anyway?
I would.
Well, I know at least one person. Dayzee, what do you think I should do?
Play along, tell her how you really feel, go on a date with her. No. Honestly, if I'm thinking in terms if I was in his situation, because it is true that Amira is a total bitch and is very vindictive and very horrible of a person. I don't like her. But because she has such a position of power, this is why I hate people like her so very much more. It's because she's in a position of power and she uses that power to take advantage of other people, which fuck her. So, I'd have to play along.
Seriously, you think I should string her along?
Well, you said she could make your professional life a nightmare, but if you play along, maybe the opposite is true as well.
Not a bad idea now that I think about it.
That kind of makes me curious though. How does dating work in this world? Considering there are so many sentient species around here, is dating between different species encouraged? Maybe that's why Amira is so interested. Is there ever any crossbreeding?
I'm not sure these questions will go over well in this group.
Crossbreeding, that's funny.
Yeah, I kind of said that in a very judgmental way.
Where there isn't any crossbreeding, it doesn't work like that. Besides, I thought you were into biology, so shouldn't you have already know where halflings come from?
You're a completely different life form from what I've seen before, so I didn't want to make any assumptions.
There are many interspecies couples though.
And what happens if those couples want to have a child?
There are plenty of options, though usually it's either adoption or a child, where only one of the parents is biologically related. Emilia totally wants my children though.
Oh, Bryce, you're killing me, man. Don't you want to be a father?
No, I'm not ready for that. I wouldn't even know what to do with the hatchling. I'd probably end up breaking its neck by accident or something like that.
Damn!
What about you, Dayzee?
What about me?
Are you having the hots for someone here, as Bryce would put it?
Honestly, I have no idea how that kind of relationship would be viewed where I come from. Since we only have one sentient species, I'm not sure what sort of social norms we develop if that changed.
Technically speaking, you dating one of us is no different than Amira dating Sebastian, for example.
Hey, I'm not getting between the beautiful thing Amira and Bryce have going on.
If you ask me, you can do whatever you like as long as you're here. Knock yourself out.
Actually, Dayzee has been hanging out with you a lot, Bryce.
Awkward. So what? Dayzee is a good person in my book. Do any of you disagree? Other than Maverick, because you're a bitch.
Not me.
No comment.
By the way, I think the food should be ready now.
Good catch.
Slowly, everyone shuffled towards the fire, which by now had become nothing more than an eerily glowing pile of that illuminated the area. And one by one, everyone took their hot food from the stones and placed it into the proper paper plates and bowls. When it was my turn, I hesitated since I could still feel the heat radiating from the stones.
Something the matter.
I think it might be too hot for me to handle.
Right, no scales. Let me get that for you. There you go.
Thanks. We resumed our positions in the circle around the glowing stones, and I waited for my meal to cool down while the others started eating.
Yep, crispy and smoky. Good job, Sebastian.
Don't mention it.
Really, it's good. I'm still not sure how you can eat that cheese stuff, Zong.
Are you going to make fun of my food choices again?
To be fair, we make fun of everyone and everything here.
I don't mind the cheese.
You wouldn't mind eating the whole bag of stones and everything as well.
At least I try something different every once in a while.
I do too. I think there are at least 5 different meats this time around.
Case in point. The food remaining on the stone slowly disappeared as everyone got their additional helpings. Soon even the last piece was gone and silence started to set in as the banter slowly died down. I think it's time for me to leave.
What already?
Hey, the babysitter can only stay so long. Oh, he has a kid!
Oh well.
I should be heading off. You know, I'm starting early tomorrow.
Well, guess we all got what we came here for. What about you, Maverick?
Looks like this party is over anyway.
Don't you all get lost in the dark then?
Of course.
Until next year.
Thanks for inviting me, Bryce. I suppose I should be heading off as well.
Oh no, you don't.
Eh? What are you talking about?
Well, they all live in the vicinity, but your apartment is on the other side of town. I'm not letting you go home alone at this hour. Reza has always operated during the night, and he may just be waiting for an opportunity like this.
What do you want me to do then?
You can sleep over at my place.
Yes. Gonna bang a dragon! If you insist.
Damn, now everyone left without meeting up, and they're so still here to help me.
I was actually about to ask about that, because all y'all leave nothing behind but your footprints. Of course. We started cleaning up together, but with the amount of trash left by 5 people, it was clear it would take a while.
Hey, do you want to know where I got these scars? I bet you're curious.
Now, if you're uncomfortable telling me.
No trouble, get to pass the time somehow. At least they make me look extra intimidating at my job. No one's going to mess with the big rugged chief of police. You probably think I got them from some crazy near-death case, but that's only true for one of them.
The neck bite, because we learned from Anna he got fucked up by his, Maverick's brother.
The other was a completely different story.
Back when I was a kid, some of my friends, I like doing this in my voice, I know it's technically him, but still, it's easier for long blocks of information. Back when I was a kid, some of my friends and I always used to play outside and go on adventuring together. We could go everywhere as long as it was close enough to the town. Woods, mountain, beaches, we loved to explore every one of them. We got fairly familiar with our surroundings. Then one day we heard from someone that there was a system of caves nearby. Caves! That was something completely new to us. Of course we went as soon as we could. We were all very excited. It wasn't a big cave system, not big enough to get lost in, but we still had so much fun that day. So much, in fact, that I wanted to go back there right away. The next day I called up a few friends, but they had longer school days than I did. Instead of waiting for them, I decided to go alone. Bad idea. Always a bad idea. Turns out going exploring on my own was a little less exciting than doing it with friends, but I still had a pretty good time. And just walking through the entire underground system was quite an experience. Plus, since I was alone, I could take the time to explore every last nook and cranny that I wanted to. Maybe that was a mistake. When I was one of the remote corners, the ground suddenly gave way and I fell about 5 meters into the cave below. Luckily, I didn't get any serious injuries from the fall, but as I looked for another exit, an ominous realization set in. This cave had no entry or exit except the one I came in. There were a few holes, but I could never fit through any of them or make them bigger in any way. Even if I could, I didn't know where they'd lead. Oh shit! So you're literally stuck in a pit. In the end, I had tried to climb out on my own, but as you can imagine, I wasn't exactly the best climber in town. So even still, I got about halfway before I lost my grip and fell down again, cutting my muzzle on the edge of a rock in the process. It bled pretty badly, but at least I knew to put pressure on the wound. I couldn't try to climb out again, however, so I waited. Aww. Baby Bryce got fucked up. It took several hours for anyone to even notice I was missing. I must have been there about 4 or 5 hours all alone before I heard footsteps above and the search party found me.
Long story short, it turned out that because of the cave systems we knew about, there was a much larger one right underneath. Those caves can only be entered with a guide now. And I got this lovely reminder of the experience on my muzzle. I had plenty of time to think while I was down there, and later in life often returned to that experience. At first it made me want to get stronger, but then I realized strength alone wouldn't have saved me. Our kind will probably never be able to climb much at all, but at least I can try to better myself. I guess the whole experience also kind of explains why I'm building those stupid wooden models now. Feeling so helpless while I waited down there, it made me realize I wanted to help others. Having been saved by police sure did a lot to make me want to follow the same path. Turns out I was good enough to even become chief. Guess that's all of the trash. Thanks for the help. I suppose I have to tell you about the second scar some other time. Let's head back now, shall we?
Sure.
Looks like it's already later than I thought. We better head to sleep soon. You can take the couch and I'll sleep on the floor or something.
Is that all he doesn't have a bed? Don't you have a bed?
Oh, this is just a temporary arrangement. I wanted to be closer to work and the new apartment wasn't ready yet, so I had to stay here for a while.
I see.
With all this armor, I barely even fear anything, so it doesn't matter where I sleep.
There's no need for you to sleep on the floor. I'd feel bad to make him sleep on the floor in his own place.
What do you mean?
I'll sleep on the floor. Oh, this couch is big enough for both of us.
Boom! It is, but I don't know if you... Well, if you say so...
Ah! We won't!
There's your bed, your highness. I'll take care of the light. There we go. Are you even going to sleep in those clothes of yours? It looks kind of uncomfortable.
Naked time! We usually have separate set of clothes to wear during the night, or we just take off a few layers.
I see.
I only sleep in underwear. What do y'all sleep in? Leave it in the comment section below. Hey!
Well, it's not like I could take that off except this little blanket here. Is it okay for you to sleep like this?
Yeah.
Well, good night, Teen.
Good night, Bryce.
If anything, with you there, we might be able to convince him to give up. Or we can act like we intend to trade you for the eggs if he tries to use them as a bargaining chip.
You're not really going to use me as ransom, right?
We'll see about that.
I suppose if it's necessary, I have to play along.
I've got your back. If there is one thing we could do to make this whole situation even worse, it would be messing up with you.
We have an element of surprise if we walk into the base right now, but we risk Reza lashing out with his weapon. If we want to resolve this peacefully, observation is probably the way to go.
I guess we won't need Dayzee there for that though.
True enough.
Alright, Dayzee, you stay here and wait for further instructions. We may need you at a moment's notice. Don't do anything without us telling you to, understand?
Okay.
Alright, let's go, Sebastian.
After you, Chief.
And Maverick, good job.
Thanks, Chief.
Shortly after they vanished, Maverick also turned to leave. Wait! He stopped and waited for a few seconds. What do you want from me? Do you have something against humans in general, or is it just Reza and me? Do you think you are superior to us because of your wings, teeth, and claws? Your fire? Or is it just jealousy or projected hate? I know the first day I met you, you were all hung up on people paying attention to us because we're human. I can assure you there's nothing about us to be jealous about. Our world is a wasteland. He closed the door before he turned back around to face me.
You're really playing that innocent role, aren't you?
Now you're offering yourself as a bargaining chip for Reza. At this rate, I might even start to believe you, if I didn't have reason not to. If I were with Reza, it would have been much easier for me to pull a gun on you too, the day you were shot. But I didn't even bring one when I came through the portal.
Plausible deniability. Or as we like to say, good cop, bad cop.
If Reza's plan fails, you and the rest of humanity can disavow Reza's actions as his own and still go through with the trade as agreed. And Reza would be dealt with, however. Yet if Reza's plan succeeds, you would have given us nothing and still have gained what you wanted. If Reza got away, you would still have me though. If your world is a wasteland, don't you think losing you is a price they would gladly pay? Maverick's words made me think. Did I really have the complete picture before I stepped through that portal? I guess that would explain why I got the job in the first place. Besides, Reza only stole things humanity wants. So he's clearly not just doing this for himself. His actions only started after that confrontation with you, though. Maybe none of this was planned.
Don't be stupid. Do you think I have forgotten about the secret message he sent you?
I still don't know what he would have told me that day if you hadn't interrupted us. He wanted to discuss his plans with you.
Only after I found out about the secret message he sent you did I realize the other messages sent back and forth between the portals could have been similar, even before your arrival. When the police searched Reza's apartment, of course, none of the older letters could be found.
Those did not have any secret messages.
Is that so?
None that I knew of, at least. When he sent that secret message, I initially had no idea how to even read it.
But you knew it was a secret message.
Yes. But that is not true for the messages he sent before you came through the portal. I don't think so.
Maybe those messages weren't intended for you then.
We're not that different, you know.
What are you talking about?
I reached into my pocket. I still have that. I don't know how long it's been. I pulled out the wrinkled piece of paper and showed it to him. According to these test results, humans and dragons show remarkable similarities for different species from different evolutionary lines and completely different worlds.
Why do you think I care about that? It wouldn't make a damn difference to me if other dragons came through that portal instead of humans. I was the only one who followed Reza and I knew something was off, but all my concerns were swept away in the wind. It was never about you being humans. It was about my people not hearing my pleas and the leniency they were willing to show you all in the name of fostering this diplomatic relationship. But you two came here and strutted around like you owned the place as you tore my home apart. The blood of those who died is on the hands of everyone who allowed this to happen.
And if they had listened to me in the first place, maybe I'd caught Reza that day I was wounded, and things would look very different now. I agree. Then why do you blame me for suspecting you? All this time, I've just been helping the police. So have I. Maybe they'll finally catch Reza, and we'll see how all this turns out. Wait a minute. You had Anna perform these tests for you. It was more the other way around. She was the one who wanted to study my blood. So now I'm not surprised you had these tests done. She can be ruthless when she wants something. What did she do to get your blood? She asked me nicely for it. Oh my lord. That was odd. She asked nicely? Nothing else in this world could be worth her. Nothing else in this world right now could be worth more than samples of your blood, and you just gave them to her? You know what? Maybe I was wrong. Even if humanity and Reza have cooked up a crazy plan, and even if they are willing to sacrifice either of you for their own gain, maybe you really have nothing to do with it. Maybe you are just clueless. It doesn't matter much, though. After all, you have nothing to gain from me if I change my opinion of you. To me, proof is the only thing that really matters, so my feelings on the issue are not important. If you work with the police long enough, you learn just to take things the way they are, or fake evidence to make minority... wait, hold up. Nope, not gonna go into there. Maybe with you I'll have to admit that I was wrong. But I won't ever stop looking for those who are responsible for this, and if I find them, I will show no mercy. Then I had to wait. Bryce and Sebastian were observing the farm now, and if anything happened, I would be the first to know. I spent some time looking around Bryce's office, studying all the materials he had gathered about the case, though there wasn't any information that I didn't already know. After a few hours, the telephone in this office rang. Not sure whether the call was intended for me or Bryce. I picked up.
Dayzee.
Yes?
I think you need to come here. I'll give you the directions.
Okay, real quick. That whole thing, was supposed to unlock Bryce's good ending. Alright? The whole thing with Maverick. I'm not sure how, but that's what the instructions said. No problem.
There you are.
So what happened?
A whole lot of nothing. There was no movement to or from the building in the time we've been watching.
Usually operates during the night, so maybe he's just asleep.
In that case, it would be best for us to go in before he has a chance to make his escape.
Or maybe he's not even there anymore. He could have seen us and slipped away unnoticed, with plenty of time to destroy the evidence while we've been waiting here.
You're right. Either he's inside or he's already gone and not coming back. Let's go in.
What should I do?
You're coming with me. Sebastian, you walk around and watch the back of the building, just in case he tries to escape.
I'm on it, Chief.
So we have two options here. First is that you stay here and I go inside. This way, if Reza tries to flee and sees you, it might throw him off. You might be able to stop him, or if we get into a standoff, I can tell him you're here as well.
And the second?
You go in first and I follow you. This way, if we find him, maybe we can resolve things peacefully. You might be able to talk to him, and if that doesn't work out, you've got me and Sebastian nearby to stop him. I don't think he's planning to harm you on sight. And if we can hear things starting to go wrong, we might be able to surprise him.
So either way, we take him by surprise. I just have the option of talking to him first.
I think you could put it off. Maybe if you're there, he won't act as irrationally as he would if I was suddenly standing in front of him. I am not going to force you to do what you force you if you don't want to know.
Okay, since last time when we chose this, he blew up, and we're trying to get his route, I think I'll do it.
Alright, let's go.
We slowly made our way to the front door. I took a deep breath and tried to prepare myself for the possibility of facing Reza. The 10 scenarios and things I could say to him rushed through my head as I pressed down on the door handle. The door inched open with a creak, but I noticed a slight resistance and a strange sound that suddenly made me hesitate. When I looked down at the source of the noise, I saw a taut wire through the gape on the door, hovering over the floor of the entryway.
That was a pretty close call, you know. Too bad Reza wasn't here after all.
Maybe he ran when he saw us approach.
Strange for him to leave everything behind though. Everything he's stolen, or the generators are still here.
Do you think the trap was for us in particular?
Probably not. It was more of a general safety precaution. If he had any time to prepare this, he would have taken this stuff with him.
True enough, I had no idea you could make a bomb out of a generator.
Then you just haven't been with us long enough. If you know how, it's not even that complicated.
And Reza somehow figured it out?
Apparently so. Does he have any skill pertaining to engineering or electricity?
Well, he worked on cars before and fixes a lot of things back home. I guess that would qualify.
He could also have done his own research.
Either way, this makes him even more dangerous. At least we now have a whole building's worth of clues. Dayzee, can you get to your apartment from here? We'll be busy with this scene for a while.
No problem. I'll leave you till your work then.
Good job, Dayzee.
Thanks. I'm surprised you called me back so quickly. How's the investigation going?
The investigation's going swimmingly, but as you can expect, we need all the help we can get.
As usual.
With how this case has been going, we've realized we must employ external help.
Oh?
Yeah, we've requested assistance from one of the cities. Hopefully they'll send some good investigators our way soon.
I see.
We were so close today. He could have been in there, you know. Maybe we just came a few minutes too late. And if he knows how to make a bomb from the generators, who's to say he won't start using them elsewhere?
At least he doesn't have any right now, does he? You said all the generators that were stolen are now accounted for.
It's true. Still, this whole case is growing to be too much for a small town police department.
I hope you'll get all the help you'll need.
Me too. But right now, you can help us again.
Well, what do you have for me?
When we searched the building, we found more than the things Reza stole. We also found this bloody bandage.
Do you think that's his?
That's what we need to find out, but given all that we know, it probably is.
So he's wounded?
We know he was injured during the fight with his first victim, but whether this is from the same wound or something else, I'm not sure. In any case, you could bring it to the lab for us to find out more.
Sure.
Next, we have the witnesses who reported hearing loud bangs during the night. If you'd like to send someone to make that follow-up visit, you'll need to confirm the witness statement and see if he has anything new to share. Also, now that we have reclaimed your PDAs, we're going to send them to the archive for analysis. Since they have experience with human artifacts, they're better suited to do it than any of our departments.
No problem.
And lastly, we have the eggs. It's a relief we found them unharmed in the building. They're safe and ready to be sent back to the hatchery.
Should we take care of those first?
It's not as urgent as you might think. Our eggs are pretty resilient. Being in the care of a hatchery is more of an insurance than a requirement. Some people choose to keep them in their own home until they hatch rather than having a hatchery take care of it. The hatchery has been notified, but they won't be able to send someone for a few hours. I've heard that they're really understaffed. If you bring the eggs and the paperwork to them, you'll speed up the process, but it's not an urgent matter. I see. In any case, I'll just leave everything here until I get to it, so feel free to do these tasks as you wish. I know it's laughable, we don't even have the free hands for simple errands.
Don't worry about it.
By the way, are you planning to attend the summer festival?
Should I? It's hard to think about something fun while I'm wrapped up in this investigation.
For sure, it's important to take short rests so you don't lose your head. There's also so much to see at the festival, particularly the big fireworks.
Dragons enjoy fireworks too? I would think something like that would feel so commonplace since so many of you breathe fire.
It's not quite the same. We still appreciate the wonder of colorful bursts in the sky. On the last day, there's always a big fireworks show. Everyone usually attends it.
Everyone?
Yes, it has a great tradition behind it. What peeves me the most is that I'll be on guard duty when it happens this year, so I probably won't be able to see a thing.
Since I did the other one.
Are you suggesting I abandon my post during the fireworks?
No, you don't have to abandon your post, but if you pick a good spot and watch them for like half an hour or so, no one's gonna care.
I'm not so sure about that. The guard post is pretty important.
I know what you're talking about. I know we're talking about the portal, but you don't need to take this so seriously all the time. Just think about it. The portal is broken right now anyway, and everybody will be busy watching the fireworks. Nothing is going to happen.
I suppose you have a point.
Just pick a good spot, and no one is going to even notice you're gone.
Well, if you say so.
Oh, I just thought, because, I thought saying, like, I will go was, like, polite because I knew he would be like, wait, I'm not gonna abandon my post. But, in all the endings that we've looked at until this point, which, spoiler alert, Sebastian is killed on the night of the fireworks. So, is us saying to look at the fireworks going to save his life? We'll have to see. Okay, remember that, everybody.
Anyway, I should get back to the investigation now. I'll leave the stuff with you here, and I'll take care of the rest once I get back, alright?
Sure thing.
Good luck, Dayzee.
You too.
Hey, ZZ, wanna meet up and go somewhere? Just the two of us. I want to get out of my crummy temporary apartment. I'm sure we could think of something fun.
Is he thinking what I'm thinking? Are we gonna smash? Please? I want to smash a dragon. Another one. Oh, that must be him.
Hey, Dayzee.
Hey, Bryce. I know you said you wanted to get out of that small apartment of yours, but I'm not sure if mine is much different.
Well, I figured yours couldn't be any worse than mine, and now that I'm seeing it from the inside, I have to say the council didn't do a bad job with it at all.
I assume that it's appropriate for someone with my status.
Whereas the chief, I believe, has to make do with whatever he can.
You said it was only temporary?
It is, but I'm getting really sick of it, to be honest.
I can imagine.
Anyway, what's the plan?
Plan?
We gotta do something, right?
How about I do you? If you want some entertainment, I could offer you a bookshelf full of it. Here's Sheridan, and the Scepter of Sovereignty should be enough to last you a while.
No thanks, I have enough fiber in my diet already.
He eats the books! I suppose you're not a fan of reading then?
Why would I visit you just to read some crummy book? And besides, I do read from time to time.
What do you read?
Science menu magazines.
I don't think that counts.
Let me take a look around your apartment then.
Feel free, though I'm not sure if there's anything special about it. I watched with amusement as Bryce headed to for the kitchen. So that's what you're really looking for.
Guess what? I found something.
He showed me one of the cheap bottles of wine that had been in the cupboard since I arrived.
Wait,
why don't you raid the fridge while you're at it?
No thanks, this will do for now.
Man, he is an alcoholic like nothing else. Oh, I get it. You want to play spin the bottle?
Sure, we just got to empty it out first.
I assumed you don't mean empty it into the sink.
Of course not, that'd be a terrible waste.
A terrible waste of the second cheapest wine from the store.
I don't know how your humans are with stuff like that, but here we don't throw away perfectly good things.
I don't. I'm not sure if this wine would qualify as perfectly good.
Hey, at least it's not the bottom of the barrel. Now, are you going to help me with this or not? Alright, let's make it one glass for you and the rest for me.
You think that's fair?
If I had to guess, I weigh about 5 to 10 times as much as you do. So this is as fair as it gets.
If you say so. I opened the kitchen cabinet to find the appropriate vessel for Bryce, but when I turned to ask him about it, he had already opened the bottle and was sucking on it like a baby. I suppose that means I won't have to do any dishes. How does it taste?
Like wine, I guess.
Cheap wine. Besides, I thought you were more of a beer person.
Hey, I take what I can get.
Just a few minutes later, the bottle had been emptied completely. I'm not sure if drinking like a dragon is a phrase, but if it isn't, it should be.
Hey, not everyone can drink like me.
I see.
Now we can finally play spin the bottle.
Don't we need more people for that?
Damn, you're right. Now I drank all of this for nothing.
Somehow, I think the whole spin the bottle thing was just an excuse for you to drink the wine.
What? I would never do such a thing.
Of course not.
Well, we could still play it with just the two of us.
At that point, we wouldn't even need the bottle anymore.
Come on, where is your scent of funness?
Is that even a word?
We're here to relax. You should lighten up a bit.
It's a bit hard to lighten up given everything that's been happening here. If anything, it's worse now than it's ever been. Reza's actions are threatening our agreement, and with it, the survival of everyone I know back home. But what really takes the cake is that he may have it out for me because I'm helping all of you.
You want to have this conversation right now? Alright, let's have it. Just let it all out.
Yeah, why don't we talk about Maverick? He may have it out for me because he thinks I'm working with Reza. And me, I'm just here right in the middle of this whole mess, just trying to make the best of it.
You know you're only involved in the investigation because we needed your help, right?
I know, and I'm doing what I can, but that doesn't mean it's making the situation any easier.
You think I don't know that? Me, the one responsible for every action our police is taking in this matter. You want to go ahead and blame someone, just blame me, I can take it.
I'm not blaming you, I'm just saying this whole situation is something I'm not very comfortable with.
And whose responsibility is that, huh? However you look at it, it's me.
And
I was the one who didn't listen to Maverick back when he had suspicions about Reza. If we had acted on this, then this whole thing might not have spiraled out of control like it did. And despite what you might think about him, he was the only one who found out Reza's hideout, even after I forced him into sick leave. We are practically at Reza's front door and he still get away somehow. If I had done something different, we might have caught him. Let this be my official apology to you. I apologize for anything I might have done to wrong you. I am sorry for putting you through all of this and having to involve you in our work while trying to fix this whole mess, because in the end it is all my responsibility.
You don't need to apologize for everything. Oh shit! He hurled the empty bottle against the wall on the other side of the room where it shattered into pieces. Oh fuck! I don't like that. Okay, oh nope, don't like that. Get out, bye. That's scared.
Then what do you want me to do, huh?
I don't know.
Do you think it's easy for me, seeing so many people die on my watch? Do you think I don't keep asking myself the same question? What could I have done differently? And what would it have made a difference? You think as chief, I'd be used to it by now, but I'm not. How can someone ever get used to this? It is my duty, you know. But I can't save them all. I never could. You've been to more than enough crime scenes by now. How have you remained so calm? Do all those who have died not matter to you? I am sorry for making you look at the corpse on your very first day here. But you know I had to. Your help has been invaluable. It's not like I could ask anyone else. It's not the same for me, really. Sure, they could have asked someone else to be chief. But I am the one who's best suited for the job. Who am I to reject that? Otherwise, I'd have to blame myself for every mistake the other chief made.
Is that why you drink?
It might come as a surprise, but...
Actually, the alcoholic police chief used to be a huge stereotype in our world.
Really?
You wouldn't believe it.
Actually, I do. The research about alcoholism in the police force is out there, but in general, the populace doesn't know about it. It's all just internal documents.
Why don't people know?
They don't want to know about unhappy things like this. Besides, they trust their chief. If they know about it, maybe they'd start to have their doubts.
I thought it was commonplace knowledge that you... visit the bar fairly often. Often enough that you're friends with the bartender.
I don't know. Maybe they don't realize how it affects me, but they see someone who can drink a lot and does it for fun. They don't realize what it means. What other stereotypes about the police are there in your world?
That's the biggest one. Actually, that's why I don't like this.
I see. Well, alcoholism and suicide are both huge problems in law enforcement.
Suicide?
Yeah, if you have to deal with the things we do on a daily basis, it can affect you in pretty bad ways. Everyone has their breaking point. We all just go up in our own different ways. Some do better than others. That is why I'm worried about Maverick now, and why I wish you had known him as long as I have.
You think he's at its breaking point?
He's taking this whole Reza situation very personally. I'm just worried about him, you know. Just like I'm worried about everything else until we can sort this whole mess.
It's personal for me too.
No matter what you may think about Maverick, or what he may think about you, he still found Reza's hideout, which led us to the generators. I guess you have both helped a lot in this investigation. My point with this is, we are a very tight-knit group at the police station. Me, Sebastian, Maverick, Naomi. The bond we form on the job is how we know to look out for each other. I can tell you there's nothing else quite like it. What do you think? How many more have to die to stop Reza? If anything, he's more dangerous now than he's ever been before. You'll know how much depends on how this all turns out. Whatever happens, I'm just glad to have known you. Remember when I told you about the wooden models I'm making? I never told anyone else about that. As much as I like everyone at the department, it's not something I can talk about with them. You saw us at the barbecue. I'd never hear the end of it. Sorry about the bottle, by the way. I'll clean it up, but...
Don't worry about it. It was empty anyway.
That's the Dayzee I like. Oh, you want to believe what happened with Amira at work?
What did?
Well, I did what you told me. I played along with her. She asked me for a massage a while ago and...
You gave her a massage?
Honestly, I have no idea what I did. I don't know how to give a massage, so I just pressed and rubbed her here and there.
What did she do?
Well, she seemed to like it a lot. There was a lot of grunting and moaning. Plus, she gave me a lot of compliments.
Gross. I guess there was a lot of tension she needed to get rid of.
She should visit a massage parlor then. We have people that are way more qualified than I am.
Do they?
Yeah, usually it's one of those who have better hands than I do, but then she doesn't really want the massage anyway, she just wants me.
What are you gonna do next?
I don't know. After I gave her a massage, she told me to go home and take the rest of the day off, and the next day she acted like nothing happened.
Did she deny that it happened?
No, I didn't even bring it up. We just went with our work as usual.
Strange.
I get the feeling she might not ask me to do it again soon.
What will you do then?
I'll probably just do it again. If I can get the day off, at least I can go back to the department and work on the case a bit instead of doing nothing in her office all day.
Good point.
It makes for an interesting story, that's for sure.
True. Can I ask you something?
Oh, go ahead.
If I told you that I'm a time traveler from the future, what would you say?
Time travel? Isn't that something that just happens in bad science fiction novels?
Why only bad science fiction novels in particular? Don't you think there could be a good one?
Let's just say all science fiction novels, because they're all bad.
Huge generalizations aside, what if we are in a science fiction story and time travels are real?
I'd want to see some proof of it first, but that's not something you come across every day, after all.
What if I can confide into you as a friend?
You would still have to show me some proof, or else I call you out on the joke.
What if I was serious?
Well, that's pretty far out. That's the kind of thing someone would make up to scam people for money or something like that.
Alright, let's forget about time travelers. What if I told you there's another human here besides Reza and me?
This is getting kinda weird, Dayzee.
Just entertain me for this question.
Well, unless you had some sort of proof, I'd call you crazy.
As a member of law enforcement, aren't you supposed to follow up on every report?
Yes, but that doesn't mean we have to believe everything. If there is no proof, we look for proof. If we don't find some, well, without any proof or leads to follow, there's nothing we can do anyway.
I see. By the way, when you and Sebastian went to the farmhouse to go after Reza, you just left me alone with Maverick in the same room.
I did?
Yeah, I was worried there for a few seconds.
Don't worry about him. You mentioned that you had a talk with him about a week ago, and that didn't end badly for you either. He might be scary, but I don't think you need to be afraid of him. He's got a very strong sense of justice, so he wouldn't do anything to you without a good reason.
When we were alone, we had an opportunity to talk where he made his position very clear.
Did he threaten you?
No. I was honest with him, and in turn, I think he was honest with me as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have nothing to hide. If he was willing to talk, I wasn't going to turn him down the opportunity.
How did that go?
I think he doesn't suspect me as much anymore.
Guess leaving you alone with him wasn't such a bad thing after all.
I suppose you could say so.
I just did.
What's that outside? Fireworks?
Yeah, must be the summer festival.
You wanted to get out of your apartment. And rather than go to the festival, you came here?
The festival isn't really anything special for me anymore. Seen them all. Besides, it's usually more of a thing for family, really.
I see. Are those the fireworks people keep talking about?
No, they have fireworks show every evening. Nobody really cares about the first couple of days. It's only on the last day when they bring out the big ones. I usually watch those.
Oh, so if there's explosions, then you care?
Well, yeah, but it's a big tradition here. Maybe even a logical one. You know, everyone in the whole town united under the stars, watching the beautiful fireworks. It's a thing.
People have been telling me for the past... People have been telling me for the last few days how I just have to see them.
You know, You kinda owe it to us as an ambassador to take part in a cultural event like that.
I'm going to go anyway, so you don't need to convince me.
Want to come with me? I know all the good viewing spots. Most of the popular ones are usually super crowded, and we probably want to avoid those.
I really can't promise anything right now, but I'll keep it in mind.
Well, you got my number, so let me know as soon as you can.
Sure thing.
You know, those fireworks are often a couple thing.
I'm not surprised. They could set the mood for a romantic evening.
Well, they're still going on right now.
Boom. Let's do it! Haha! Are you saying you want to go outside and watch?
No, I'm saying we can take this conversation elsewhere, namely the bedroom.
Yes! Get that Marvin Gaye and Chardonnay, let's go! The bedroom here is nothing special, I can assure you of that.
Well, it's better than the one I have right now. You know, when you slept over the last time and we shared the couch, I took it as a sign. Did that mean anything to you? Or was it just two friends sharing a couch that was clearly too small for two people who just wanted to stay friends?
Didn't mean what you thought it meant. It meant exactly what you thought it meant. Let's go!
Then why don't we make this more romantic then? Share a glass of wine and see where the evening takes us.
I should have another bottle in the kitchen. I'll go fetch it.
Sure thing.
I went to the kitchen to fetch a bottle of wine and 2 appropriate vessels, wondering how Bryce would manage a wine glass. When I returned from the kitchen, however, I was met with an unexpected sight. Hey! Hey! Hey, is his dick out? Like, hold up! Hell yeah! Oh my! Boom! Bryce sprang to his feet, a somewhat embarrassed look on his face.
What is it?
No, that was fine, don't stop!
Not something you've seen here before, huh?
Not like that.
Well then, especially with my kind they are. And then, especially with my kind they are. Well, I think you can see what I mean.
Hung?
Do you just want to stand there and keep staring?
No.
Then why don't you come a little closer?
Alright. Hey! Hey! Another free day, yay me. Today's the day of the big fireworks. Who shall I bring? Bryce. Alright, let's see it. That must be him.
I hope you're ready to see the fireworks because I brought everything we need.
In front of him there was a woven basket that was closed at the top. It reminded me a lot of a typical picnic basket. What are you talking about?
Snacks and other things, you'll see.
Condoms? Let's go. Then. Let's go then. After a few minutes of walking, we arrived at a rather empty-looking area near the edge of town. Where's everyone else? I thought the whole population was watching the fireworks.
Well, there are more public spaces, but someone like you would get pushed around a lot in the crowds. Besides, I think you'll appreciate the solitude.
If you say so.
The fireworks should start any minute now. If you're hungry, you can grab something from the fun basket.
Fun basket?
That's what I call it.
I didn't know snacks were that much fun for you.
They certainly can be. Besides, there are other things inside as well.
Condoms!
Oh, I think it's starting.
We waited quietly as the stillness of the night enveloped us. Soon I heard the sound of the first rocket making its way into the night sky, after which it exploded in a pattern of colors. More rockets followed, the thunderous noise echoing throughout the land.
You remember what happened last time there were fireworks?
Is that what the fun basket's for?
Actually, no, not unless you feel adventurous.
We're already outside, that's pretty adventurous, I'd say.
Suit yourself.
Bryce opened the basket, feeling around with one of his claws. Meanwhile, my gaze wandered into the illuminated night sky. Suddenly, a terrible realization hit me. Considering how public of an event this was and how everybody would be watching the fireworks, now would be the best time for Reza to make his move. Not only was the village basically deserted, but the sound of fireworks would have also overshadowed any gunshots, giving him as much security as he would ever have. As the portal had been repaired by this mysterious person I had met, now was the perfect time for Reza to make this getaway, and I was the only one who knew. Bryce, I think we need to go. Now.
What? Do you want to take this somewhere else?
I know where Reza is.
What are you talking about? Are you sure?
I bet my life on it.
Then we have no time to lose. Let's go.
We arrived at the portal just a few minutes later. While I was checking out the portal itself, Bryce looked around the area. I was glad to see it was still turned off, and it had it been used recently, it would either still be running or in the process of recharging. Reza was still here somewhere.
Just look at this.
What is it?
Eggs. A suitcase full of them.
So he broke into the hatchery again.
Looks like it.
He hasn't used the portal yet, though.
How could he? Isn't it broken?
Not anymore. It looks like someone repaired it.
Then he must be close. But where is he? What is so important that he won't leave without it?
The underground building. The administrator had told me all about the prowess of the generators within. It probably hadn't been hard for Reza to guess the same, or try stealing it from a place he knew would be even more deserted than the rest of the village was right now.
That must be it.
So what do we do now?
We could wait for him here, but I think I got an even better plan.
What is it?
Let's just do it like last time. You go in first. I'll stay behind and out of sight. If you meet him, you can confront him and maybe talk him down. But if he tries to flee, you'll have to get through me first.
Alright, let's go. Bryce led me to the dig site where they had unearthed the building's entry. Once we got nearer, he stayed behind and motioned me forward. To go forward. He slowly followed me, trying to stay in cover as I entered the building. Inside, I was met with a long illuminated hallway that was lined with doors on both sides. Since the lights were already on, Reza had to be very close. I wasn't surprised the building still have electricity since generators were also powering the portal. Suddenly, one of the doors opened and out came Reza, carrying a large cardboard box. When he spotted me, he set it on the ground.
There you are, Dayzee. You don't know how glad I am to see you. I've wanted to talk with you for so long. I even tried to contact you, but that didn't work out with one of them on your tail the whole time. But talking can wait now that you're here. We've got everything. Come on, help me with this and let's get out of here.
No.
No, what are you talking about?
I'm not doing anything until you answer a few questions.
You want to talk now? Sure, why not? We probably got a few hours if we wanted to. None of them will disturb us here. We can even get the backup generator as well after we send this one over.
Did you realize we were in the past? How did you know about the comet?
I've known for a while. That's what I wanted to talk with you about when we met the portal. How about you?
I only recently found out.
Looking back, it just seems so obvious to me now. Not sure exactly how you figured it out, but there's so many damn clues when you think about it. I mean, how could a supposedly different, independent civilization speak the same language as us? What, was this supposed to be an alternative reality? No, it was just a different time. When was there ever anything resembling these creatures on Earth? It's not hard to make the jump from dragons to dinosaurs when some of them look pretty damn near identical to the dinosaurs we knew about. And then there's also the prehistoric fruits, the plants, and the fact that their technological level is nearly exactly the same as our own past society. But we don't even have to think that abstract, we just need to look at the sky. The sun, the moon, even the stars are the same. Constellations change over time, of course, but you know we could account for that stuff. You could have just pointed your PDA at the sky and it would have told you the time period, including the imminent threat of being eradicated. You could even see the meteor in the sky and how it would change its position day after day.
Are you done being condescending?
I guess so.
You killed those dragons, Reza.
What are you talking about? I didn't kill any...
This is different. Don't lie to me. You did it. I remember it now.
What do you mean? That doesn't make any sense.
Are you telling me you weren't the one who stole those generators and those other things in the past 2 weeks?
No, I was in hiding. After what happened at the portal, I didn't dare do anything that could jeopardize our mission.
Why didn't you just come back?
How could I? They wanted to arrest me. I was a fugitive. I was surprised they didn't apprehend you, but then you weren't the one who shot at one of their police officers.
Come on, Reza. The murders only started happening after you were gone. And the police have gathered plenty of evidence. You're the only one with the motive.
All I did this whole time was try to find ways to contact you so you could talk to our people and figure something out for me. Why would I escalate the situation like that? Besides, how did you know so much about what the police were doing?
I've been helping them because you were going about this the wrong way.
I didn't kill anyone, I'm telling you!
They have proof, Reza. I've seen it myself. Just turn yourself in and we'll go from there. Nobody can help you if you don't do that.
No, I'm not gonna turn myself in for something I didn't do. Not for these beasts. Who knows what they'll do to someone like me in captivity?
How else do you expect this to end?
I'm not doing anything until I've got a free passage back home. Actually, I could just leave this place right now. The portal's fixed after all.
That's not going to happen.
Let me ask you one thing. How exactly are you planning to stop me? I'm the one with the gun here.
You would shoot me to save your own hide?
Only if you insist on standing in my way.
You're not going to get away that easily.
What are you gonna do, huh? I'll be long gone by the time you call the cops.
I don't need to, Reza. They're already here. Suddenly, Bryce and Maverick were standing next to me. Oh, Maverick came too, huh?
You planned this, didn't you, Dayzee? Traitor! And to think I let you distract me with such a cheap trick just because I thought there was still a shred of humanity within you.
Hey! He pulled out the gun, not sure which one of us he should be aiming at.
Just let me go and I'll forget this thing ever happened.
You've got 6 bullets for 3 people. Do you really think you could do that, Reza? Do you think this is worth risking your life for?
I've been risking my life every day for the past 2 weeks. What did you do during that time? Sip champagne in your nice apartment?
Yep, and get boned by dragons.
Besides, this generator and the whole building came from our time. They belong to humanity.
Suddenly, the administrator came out of the shadows in the hallway behind Reza. No, they belong to me. Confused, Reza spun around, aiming his gun at the newcomer who was slowly walking towards him.
Who the fuck are you? Freeze! I said freeze!
Want to waste your bullets on me? Feel free. You can't stop all of us.
If you say so.
Damn. He pulled the trigger and the administrator fell to the ground with a dull thud that knocked her mask off. You know, I'm not sure if I would have said that myself. My first instinct was to run away, but as Bryce and Maverick started charging, so did I. Reza was quick with his aim, shooting both Maverick and Bryce twice before pointing his gun in my direction. I quickly dove behind the box with the generators for cover just as Reza pulled the trigger multiple times. Only a single shot came out and lodged itself in the box. Though I was seemingly unharmed, a loud hiss began to emanate from my cover.
Everybody run, it's going to explode!
I started running towards the exit, but was soon overtaken by both Reza and Maverick. I looked back over my shoulder to see Bryce had grabbed the administrator before he started running as well. Oh, wow. Just as I reached the outside, the explosion knocked me off my feet. There was a rain of metal debris as I heard the walls of the building shaking in their foundation. As I looked up, I saw Reza fumbling with his gun as Maverick pounced on him. He bit into Reza's neck and strained for a second before ripping a large chunk out of it. Oh, shit! Ah! Reza wasn't moving when Maverick walked off and came towards me. What is brass? I looked towards the entry, which was now mostly blocked by debris. He must still be inside. Then what are you waiting for? Come on! We ran over to the rubble, only to see the administrator crawling through a small hole as she removed the last bit of debris that separated her from the outside world. Afterwards, she laid down, panting heavily. Water began to trickle from the new opening. Oh no! It's the water pockets. The building must be flooded. And he's still inside. I'll clear away the rubble and you try to find him. We both set to work as I stuck my head into the hole that the administrator had crawled out of. The place was flooded completely, but luckily, even though through the water, I could still see Bryce as he also tried to clear away the rubble from the other side. Quickly, I pulled my head back out of the hole. He's on the other side, trying to get through. Who knows how long he's been underwater? Give him some air! I took a deep breath before I went in again, extended my arms to grab Bryce's muzzle. Luckily, he seemed to understand what was going on as he moved into my reach. I pressed my lips to his muzzle, giving him some much-needed air. I drew back, repeating the process a few times while Maverick cleared away the rubble, until eventually Bryce surfaced, panting heavily. Oh, I thought he was gonna die, for real. Are you alright?
Yes, let's get away from here before the empty water buckets cave in or something.
Maverick carried the administrator while we went uphill towards the portal. Ah, man. But did he do it? When I came across Reza's corpse, I took the time to strip him of his gun and ammo, not wanting the dragons to find them. Meanwhile, the administrator was set on the ground, and Bryce checked out everyone's injuries. Luckily, it seemed both Bryce and Maverick's were comparatively minor and didn't need any immediate action. The administrator was not so lucky, however. She squirmed as Bryce removed her clothes out of the way to get a good look at her bullet wound. No, don't. As I returned to them, I heard Bryce gasp audibly.
Damn it!
Is it bad?
Dayzee, do you remember the first victim? The blood on his muzzle from fighting back was neither yours nor Reza's, but distinctly human. I thought it was an error, but our DNA tests were compatible.
In this story... Wait a minute! In the other timelines, Reza is the killer. Is the administrator the killer in this timeline? What the fuck?
But Reza doesn't have a matching bite wound from him. She does.
I considered the implication of Bryce's words, whereas Reza usually didn't hesitate to admit the killings to reach a goal he thought was noble. He had denied any such actions this time. Of course, there was no use ignoring the evidence before us. This could only mean one thing. Why did you do it, Izumi? Why did you kill them? Wait, Izumi? Izumi? Wait a minute. How did we know her name? He did kill them, you know. Just not in this timeline. If you can't even remember my name now, then you should remember what else he would have done. How he would have enslaved them to use the weapons back in the future. And how he doesn't care what happens to this world. I had to do it in order to put you on the same trail. he would have. If I had come to you during the first night and tried to explain to you that I am a time traveler who had to kill in order to prevent suffering that is magnitudes greater, genocide, slavery, would you have believed me? Who could have known that sometimes even Reza can change? If he didn't kill anyone, there would be no investigations, and you wouldn't have known how dangerous he is when he showed his true colors. You just saw that even in this scenario, he wouldn't shy away from shooting others to get what he wants. Besides, I didn't want to risk jeopardizing our experience by changing things. It could have erased all the progress we had made, and the things we have learned over the many times we've done this now. If I didn't shove you out of the way in the cellar when the light fixture came down, you would have died then and there. That's what happened the first few times.
Bitch, what?
There was a lot of trial and error involved to get you where we are now. You wouldn't believe the lengths I've had to go to every single time, and the consequences if I don't. You could not have followed the same path and arrived here if I didn't kill them. The fact that you remember that it was originally Reza who did it only proves just how important this is. Only in the events stay the same long enough will you be able to learn from them and remember, despite the effects of a repeated teleportations have on your memory. This only tells me that I made the right call.
If Reza had nothing to do with it, then what was he doing when he was trying to take the generator?
I slipped him a note. He thought it came from you, and said to meet here and take the generator before you'd leave together. He played his part well enough so you could tell the difference.
Oh, hey. So he really did think that I planned all of this? That I lured him to have him arrested by Bryce and Maverick?
For all he's done, I think he deserves to know what betrayal feels like.
Fairness. I've listened to this long enough. It was you, and that's all that matters to me.
No, Maverick, don't do it.
I'll tell you apart. Hey! Bryce tried to go between them, but Maverick aimed his shoulder squarely into Bryce's bullet wound. Bryce collapsed, convulsing in pain as Maverick pounced on Izumi and tore into her. Meanwhile, I put a few bullets into the gun I took from Reza before I aimed at Maverick and pulled the trigger several times. Maverick collapsed instantly and looked at me with pained expression. Beneath him lay Izumi dead. Wah! He was trembling and took a few slow steps towards me, only stopping when I aimed the gun at him. Stop right there. She killed them, and you protect her. We needed her. I told you I'd show no mercy if I found a killer. And just when I thought I could trust you, I should have known you'd shoot me just like Reza did. No, it's not like that. Then why? I don't think I can explain. He shook his head weakly. Thanks for proving me right, Dayzee. You remember when I confronted you a while back and asked you to explain your reason? You told me I wouldn't understand. You're right, I don't. His head slumped as he closed his eyes. He was dead. Oh, wow. Oh, what is Bryce gonna do? Oh, God. Is this the good end? How is this the good end? Hey, Bryce.
I'm afraid I got some pretty bad news for you.
What is it?
We were able to power the portal again, even without the generators from the lab. But we still couldn't re-establish contact with humanity.
Why not?
Ever since the portal got sabotaged and was repaired, the coordinates, the connection to the human's portal, it just isn't there anymore.
Can't you locate it again?
We don't know how. We found a different set of coordinates in there, but some reason we aren't able to use them.
I know. Only I can. They're for traveling back in time to the day of my arrival.
I guess you really are a time traveler, huh?
Now that you know everything, that really shouldn't surprise you.
What are you going to do now?
Well, I guess returning to humanity is out of the picture.
So it's either staying here or using the portal to return to the day you arrived here. Or that time travel business is too complicated for me.
Izumi had it all figured out. I'm wondering what she would think about this outcome. All she ever wanted to do was save you dragons, just like Reza only wanted to save humanity.
Neither shield away from killing people, so maybe you shouldn't look at them as pillars of morality. Either way, I'm not sure if you really have much of a choice here. I don't actually know if they can stop the comet. Of course they'll try, but without the generators from the lab, it's not looking great for us.
I initially came here to help humanity, but if I go back with what I know now, maybe I can help you too.
At any rate, it was nice when I dusted.
Hey, no need for melancholy now. It's not as if we're not going to see each other again. Soon I was preparing to return to the day of my arrival. Despite her accents, Izumi made a good point. Thinking about the knowledge I had now, I realized just how important it was to remember, and how it would help me during my next attempt. No doubt the teleportation would erase some of my memory again, but I could think of a few ways to retain some knowledge. Not only did I take my own written account of what happened to me, but there were also physical reminders I could remember, such as Izumi's mask and cloak. With her gone, I was now the only one with the most experience. As I made my way to the portal, I realized in order to make this mission a success, to save everyone, this time I would just have to save myself. Damn! So in this timeline, Izumi was the murderer. Shit! And we just straight up murked. We straight up murdered, Maverick. I don't know, but I think his last words would have been more powerful if he would just say, if he just would have left at the, "You proved me right, Dayzee." I feel like that would have made it more powerful, but that's not up to me. Not up to me. Anyway, so, we're going to have to look through again. We were able to, because there's 5 main paths. We got Anna and we got Bryce. The next ones we need are Dean, Remy, and Lorem, and if we get all 5 of those, then we unlock the true ending. That's my aim. So, I guess we're gonna have to keep working towards it. And since we took the cloak and the mask, are we the masked hero now? The administrator now? Cause that would suck. Cause I don't know any of this shit like she does. But would figure it out on the fly, I guess. Have no other choice. Now let this roll by again. We're getting closer to the true end, and I'm not going to stop until I receive the true end. God is my witness. You have seen Bryce's good ending. How is it a good ending? These good endings are bullshit. Okay, and now we see Bryce on the main screen. Let's check out his picture. Oh, wow. He looks really good in this art style. But there for the... Alright. Thank you very much for joining. If you like what you see, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you can see my content in the future. Also, while you're here, if you have any game suggestions or you just want to say hi, leave it down in the comment section below. I'm Dayzee Hyena, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.